for the start of spring with the second edition of Tamron Spring Refresh. I almost said Tamron Hall show, but I guess it's Tamron because I'm Tamron. Hey, our final category, Go Green, is the next category. Whether you're trying to liven up the indoors or get your front yard approved by your neighborhood association, we've got your back. And I say that because my cousin Erica, your neighborhood association, my cousin's neighborhood association asked her to fix the shrubs. She's going to kill me about this episode. All right, but shout out to our friends at Lively Root for turning our studio this green. Their mission is to inspire greener spaces by connecting people with plants, and I think they did a great job today. But let's get to our guest, Rayne Oakes, an environmental educator. Her YouTube channel, Plant One on Me, features houseplant tips, plant unboxings, and field trips to botanical gardens. Has over 72 million combined views. Her fans adore her extensive knowledge and passion for making plants more accessible. In her Brooklyn apartment, she's got nearly 200 plants. Take a look.
I wanted to feel in my kitchen as if I'm just walking into a little bit of a forest, and I'm cooking in the forest.
In April 2016, my apartment went viral for having over 700 houseplants in a 1,200 square foot space. I started collecting houseplants because it just felt like I was home again. I grew up in northeastern Pennsylvania in a small town, and my parents were big gardeners. I loved being out in nature. I was getting countless queries from folks about how to take care of plants. In 2017, I launched my first YouTube channel, Plant One on Me, to help educate people about plants and the people who love them. In 2019, I came out with my third book, and the idea behind that is a little bit more of like a relationship guide to living with plants. My personal mission is to really bring people closer to plants by bringing plants closer to them. And Tam Fam, I can't wait to bring them close to you.
Please welcome Rayne to the show. I love it. Okay, so you coach us on our relationship with our plants. By the way, we are plant parents. All right?
It's true. I mean, they're living organisms, so you have to kind of take care of them.
You have to take care of them. Are there different types of plant parents?
Absolutely. So if you think about like a plant, if you're like a helicopter parent and you want to like, you know, take care of your plant all the time, water it, you humidify it, that's one type of plant. Right. I could say also if you're traveling a lot, if you want to be a little bit more laissez-faire, then there's plants for people who, you know, don't need a lot of attention.
Plants like myself. You don't have to say it, I'll say it.
Plastic plant for you.
Okay. I'm a deadbeat parent. But my mom is still the type of person, she loves giving plants, and the two plants I cherish most. Yeah. The last gift that my parents gave me when I moved here together was this beautiful plant that I still have in my home.
A lot of people have those stories. Yeah. Like that you know, maybe that's somebody has passed in our life and have given us a plant, and that is like their memory of that plant.
All right, so you have a DIY way to grow new plants from existing plants in our home. In some cases, you say we don't even need soil, because we were both saying we just got manicures.
I was like, I'm not going to make you do the soil thing.
So we may not need soil. What do we do?
No, so actually we're doing something hydroponically. So these are just tea strainers that you could get like in your kitchen. And I was like drinking tea 10 years ago. I was like, I think I could just use this as a propagation tool. So what we're going to use is lightweight expanded clay aggregate. It's called leca.
Leca. Is this easy to find?
Pretty easy to find. Yeah, a lot of people are growing this way now. So what we're going to do is just put about half full in here. So you could do the same as well.
I'm watching you,
And the reason why, here you go,
like,
you could just go here.
Go on.
The reason why we're doing this is it just to give it some substrate. We have it soaking in water first because they are a little dusty, so it's nice to soak them in water. Okay. And what we're going to do, this is actually my Hoya odorata from my house.
Hoya odorata.
Yes, so odorous. It has a really nice odor to it when it gets a flower. What you're going to do in order to propagate this, which means a clonal propagation, so you're propagating from and the mother, is you're going to...
Do you know how many times you sent me to Google just now in my mind? I was like,
trying to define it as we go.
Okay.
And then you cut it right behind the node, which is like the knobby part.
Okay.
So I'm going to do this one first, and I'll give you one to cut. And then that node has a little latex coming out of it, no big deal. You're going to cut the bottom leaves off. And this is where, I'm going to send you back to Google, the meristematic region is. So this is where roots will grow out or leaves will grow out, whatever the plant needs. You only need 1 or 2 leaves at the tip, sometimes 3. And I'm going to put this into the leca, and then I'm going to fill in with more leca.
And can you use leca in all house plants or just in this way?
You actually can. You will just need to actually, you know, fertilize it as it goes. You know, this has been sitting in 8 months, but once you're finished with it like this and you see the roots coming out, well, then you could actually put it up in a potting medium similar.
So it takes about 8 months to get the roots out?
It'll come out. Now that it's spring, these will start growing roots almost
Would you
immediately.
put this outside or you do this inside?
Right on your
Right in
windowsill.
a glass, and now now you've been able to.
Yeah, now we have 3 plants.
3 plants.
Yeah,
Okay, I love that. All right. Okay. One of my favorite plants to receive, particularly around spring and Easter, hyacinth.
Yes, it's hyacinth. It actually happens to be my middle name.
Oh, wow.
I know. It smells amazing.
You were meant to do this job.
I know. I was like, how can I get more natural in my name? No, so these are perfect sign of spring, and you often see them. This is a typical way kind of to display them. You usually see them in the ground, but from a hydroponic standpoint, this is all they need. And these are just the bulbs. It has the water. All that nutrient is in the bulb, actually. Yeah. But you could actually take this plant and then plant it back up, whether you want it in a potting medium or outside.
So if I have this in a pot, I can...
You could just get the bulb and put it in. This is actually a hyacinth bulb vase for display. Once the leaves start to senesce and get yellow, because you only get these blooms.
The leaves start to senesce.
Yes.
What are you doing to me, Summer Rayne?
It's like a living dictionary. When the leaves start to senesce and they get yellow and crunchy, that's when you could actually go in with your snips. You could take them off.
And then just plant it?
And you could plant it outside, and it will come up next year because it is perennial, surprising. But you want to make sure that the leaves go all the way to yellow because this is what they use for the food. And then this is basically like the refrigerator. This is where all the nutrients are stored for next year.
Fascinating.
For growth. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you've got your book, How to Make a Plant Love You.
Yeah.
What is the #1 way to make other than not killing the plant, what is the #1 way to have a plant love us?
Well, I think really understanding maybe where that plant comes from, because one of the great things that I love to do on the channel is showing people where plants come from in the wild, because if it's in like an understory of a rainforest, then you say, you know what, I don't need to stick that right directly in my south-facing window. That might want a little bit of shade. So getting to know your
where
plant,
your plant
like a relationship,
came from, versus trying to like.
It's like you're going on a date with your plant, and you don't just get right to it. You ask them where they came from.
This went really deep, fast. Okay. Well,
like
How to Make a
guide.
Plant Love You. What a sweet. You still have 200 plants in your apartment?
I have more like 700, but I'm in the process of moving. I need some of the other folks who are on to minimalize. You know?
Minimalize, yeah.
I'm like
declutter.
maximalist.
Summer Rayne Oakes. Check out her YouTube channel for more tips. It's called Plant One on Me. And guess what? We're gonna all learn how to make our plants love us and learn some really big words also. You're going home with a copy of Summer's book to Spring Refresh. Thank you